You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about the Dyatlov, something like that, Pass incident. It was a Russian hiker, kind of a disappearance, unsolved mystery.
An unsolved mystery in Russia.
So yeah, and we are going to be pairing that with a Sotol, but I almost said that beverage picked out.
Do you think we should shut the door, or do you think it's cool?
It doesn't matter. If you want me to, I will.
Okay,
I forgot to do it.
If a dog starts barking.
Sorry. Yes, there's 3 barky dogs here, so ignore it.
That's the Philly. All right, so this is the Dyatlov Pass incident.
I think it's Dyatlov is how you say it. I've heard it said like 3 different ways, so I'm not really sure how to pronounce it.
In the desert door Sotol.
Super good.
It is. We're going to talk about it in just a second. Do we need to pause for commercial break?
Sure.
I'm just joking. We don't have,
okay.
We don't really
I was about to say if you have one.
We don't have that. Everything sound okay? Do I sound okay?
Yeah. Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it sounds fine.
I'm getting reacquainted after being gone for so long. So many graduations, birthdays. So it is what it is, right?
Yes. Lack of coming over here because of gas.
It's really getting kind of outrageous.
It is.
But yeah, so a lot of things we may have to start doing, like remotes, where you're calling in and.
Well, I don't have like a good setup like you do.
Yeah, no, I can set it up. You just call in, and we'll just like a cam thing.
We could.
Like we do with Sven. We could do that.
Yes.
Something like that. Yes. Anyway, yep. So let's kind of get into the Sotol thing. So this is Desert Door, Texas Sotol, and it is it's like tequila, but it's made from a different plant, which is the desert spoon plant, which is Dyatlov Spilori.
Sounds like something from Harry Potter.
Dyatlov something. I forgot the last part of it for some reason. Suddenly, what is it? Dyatlov?
I never knew, so I don't know.
So anyway, their description is the Desert Door Sotol is handcrafted in Driftwood, Texas. So that's just southeast of Austin.
That's about 4 or 5 hours from here. Not very far.
So, but the name of the spirit and the desert plant we make them from. The wild harvested all of our Sotol. They harvest their own. We don't farm, cultivate the plant, so as to conserve precious resources like land and water. The tasting notes say our notes on Desert Sotol Original is a lot like premium tequila with notes of vanilla, green grass, but that's where the similarities end. Tasting reveals flavors like toffee, mint, and orange zest. The finish is custard smooth, which is kind of weird that they say that, because it does. Obviously, they know their product. Smoother than any tequila with subtle hints of sage. An additional note says our original is great for mixing cocktails and substitute for clear spirits and recipes that can be joined over ice cube. That's a gold medal winner at the Denver International Spirits Competition in 2020.
I thought that thing said it can also be enjoyed with meat. It's enjoyed neat.
Enjoyed meat. So you can have it with chicken.
A brisket.
Yes, brisket, beef, chicken, whatever. But it is 40% is made in Driftwood. So we got introduced to this one. We went to a restaurant. What was that restaurant in Dallas that we went to? Ouch.
In Dallas. Lamina.
Yeah, we went to Lamina.
In the Village, and it's just down the street from, it's off at Greenville Avenue, right?
Somewhere out there, yeah, in the Village. It's just kind of a huge complex.
Familiar.
But they since I've been years ago, it's been completely redone. It's beautiful, awesome restaurant too. So we ate some food, and then we had the drinks after. Mm-hmm. And I had what was it called? Electric margarita. Mm-hmm. You had
I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a blood orange margarita.
Yeah, and so when they brought it out, mine was in kind of a wine glass. You know, it felt kind of cheesy drinking a drink out of that.
Looked like Samantha from Sex and the City.
It was so good, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was very grassy and sweet and fruity, and it all complemented each other really well. I just knew that it wasn't tequila, but it was kind of tequila-y, whatever, even though it's nothing like tequila. It makes a lot of sense. But I looked at the menu, and I was like, I don't know, what is Sotol? I've never heard of this before.
And it was bomb. I think mine had Sotol in it, didn't it?
I think yours was also made with Sotol.
It was good.
And I was like, why are they making these with Sotol instead of tequila? Mm-hmm. And of course, I just came back home and just started researching the shit out of it, like I do everything I get interested in.
Everything.
Yeah, and I started kind of looking around at different ones. One of the drinks was made with La Juega Sotol, which is okay. It's a little bit smokier, but this is more of a robust, earthy, grassy. Everything they say, the sage hints, the orange, and it finishes real smooth.
Yeah.
And there's another one that I bought today, which is supposed to be like one of the original ones in Mexico. Sotol is typically made in northern Mexico and Chihuahua. There's not a current certain way or certain place you can make it yet. They haven't patented on where it can be. So
like tequila?
Exactly.
Okay.
So from what I understand, they're trying to get to the point where they can patent it to be made at a certain area. But Desert Door already has it in Texas, so what do you do? So the one what was the name of the one that I got today? Hacienda. Hacienda Sotol. And it's good. It's not the smokiness that we typically have on a Sotol from Mexico. We have Coyote, La Meridian, whatever it is.
God, by now you probably have 5 or 6 of them.
I do, literally.
I know.
And so, but Hacienda and Desert Door are very similar, but Hacienda is
smokier.
No, it has no smoke at all.
Really?
No, it's very.
Ooh, I don't know. That's weird.
No, well, neither does Desert Door.
I feel like that tastes smoky to me.
At all. To me, it doesn't. It has no smoke flavor to me. But Hacienda is more. It's got the same flavor, but it finishes. Not cleaner. It just finishes with nothing. It just kind of goes
like
away.
Tasteless.
It goes away. Yeah.
That's weird.
Desert Door for me has more robust flavor. It has more character, and then it lingers in your mouth a little bit longer, and it's still kind of a little bit grassiness. I think Desert Door is better than Hacienda.
I love this Desert Door kind.
So between the ones I have, which is the Coyote, Hacienda, La something. La Meridian or something.
A lot of them are La or L.
Well, I wonder why. But for me, Desert Door is probably the best tasting one, and it's also on the
cheapest.
It's also, not the cheapest, but it's also in the better price point. It's one of the cheaper ones.
Really?
But it has much better flavor, much more robust than the other ones. So, hats off to Desert Door. So what we're going to do is we're going to share. Leah has, what is her drink again? It's just a cocktail?
I think it's just a Sotol cocktail.
Sotol
and it has, pineapple, lime?
A little pineapple, a little lime, Sotol, Angostura bitters. And I think that's it.
Oh, that's it?
Did I miss anything? Oh, and simple syrup. Simple syrup.
I don't know. I don't make it.
And she got that, a Sotol cocktail. And then I'm doing a ranch water.
But we're going to share.
We're sharing
a little thipper.
A shot. We're going to share a shot of the Desert Door to sip on, because the other night we drank the Desert Door out of those. I can't remember the thing's called, but like a little, a clay sipper thing. Cup.
Yeah, it feels very Green Inferno-y.
It's not a cup.
When you drink out of it,
but it's a really small cup.
I don't really know what you would call it.
I forgot what they're called. I could look.
It's like phone. A little clay.
I forgot what they're called.
I don't know how to explain it either.
But when we drank out of that cup, it almost like it could have been just, it could have been just our imagination, but it tasted real smooth. So
really rooted in the earth.
It did taste earthy. You're making fun of me. So
yes and no, because I do understand, like, when I tasted that, I completely understood what you were saying.
So I decided in the shot glass, we're just going to sipperoo it. Do a little sipper. Oh, you want to take a little sip of your cocktail? What does that taste like? Fruity and grassy?
And limey. It's good.
I'm drinking ranch water, which...
Ranch water is hard to beat.
I turned into a ranch water hoe.
Yeah, because we don't... Like, the last time we had beer was like...
When we went to Siren Rock.
Yeah, what was that? 2 weeks ago or so? 2.5 weeks ago?
Yep.
And that was the first time we'd had beer in, like, a while.
Yeah. I am predominantly drinking ranch waters 99.9% of the time now.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good beer, but my God, I kind of feel better not drinking beer.
I do. Not so bloated. But we're drinking ranch water with, like, high-end tequilas. We're not drinking, like, cheap shit like Jose Cuervo and stuff.
No, we're bougie as fuck.
Yeah, we are. Look at us. But now Sotol has worked its way into my repertoire.
Oh my God. Is that more expensive than tequila?
Is it what?
What were you about to say? You went...
Shut the... It what? What were you saying?
I said, is it generally more expensive than tequila?
It depends. But for me, for being a higher quality... I consider Desert Door to be a high quality Sotol.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
But I like the grassiness of it, the earthiness of it, and there's a hint of sage, and it's real creamy after. I love it. So now Sotol is kind of working its way into my tequila thing. But even still, it's so good. So I don't think it's a very niche. It's not really popular right now.
No.
It's getting there fast.
Like, that's the only place I've seen it.
Well, it's in
do they have it at Mexican Sugar?
I'm pretty sure they do.
They probably do, but
and there's that place over by Fair Park. That place they have it. They have different Sotols. At the Sotol flight. Mm-hmm. I didn't try that. I just tried mezcal.
Yeah,
mezcal's okay. It's not for me. Like it's tequila's where it's at for me, but this stuff is really kind of working magic.
Why don't you like mezcal as much?
Mezcal it's too smoky. Because I don't mind some smoke with mezcal. Some of it's so smoky it tastes like a tire.
Like that's kind of why I don't like smoky beers. Smoky beers to me are just ugh.
Cedar Creek, Scruffy's, Smoked Alt. Oh, that's such a good beer. Anyway.
But I remember the first time you had me try this Desert Door, I as much as I'd like to think this is like an acquired taste kind of liquor, I feel like it's more of like you either like it or you don't. Because it's such a distinct flavor. And
people think that this might be related to the agave plant. It's not. It's related to the
plant.
What's the vegetable? The one that's got that makes your pee stink.
Asparagus.
It's in the asparagus family.
What?
That's what I said too.
How deep do you dive into this stuff when I'm asleep?
Shut up. I really do over.
You're probably in dark Reddit talking about Sotol while I'm asleep.
I really do over analyze and just research too much.
Oh my gosh, you go down the rabbit hole.
So the smell, the aroma is just exactly what they say. Matter of fact, last night we got hints of chocolate.
Yes, I did taste that last night.
I'm going to give it a sip.
What was weird is it took a minute. It wasn't like immediate, and then I was just sitting there kind of like, and I was like, oh my God, it tastes like chocolate. Shit.
It does. You get the toffee mint orange, and you do get the sage in there. And
I smell the sage.
That grassiness, man. And it sounds gross, but to me it's more like their descriptor says it's like green grass. For me, it's more like a hay grass, like a dried grass.
And it's...
God, I think those cups are what gave it that chocolate flavor.
It must have. Which is weird.
I tasted a little bit.
Which is weird because you got off of Amazon.
I did. I get everything off of Amazon.
I feel like people that sell shit on Amazon aren't just like... so worried about this flavor profile and what you put in it and how it tastes and all that. And I do like that it's like it tastes like a higher, not taste, but like the after feel is like a higher end tequila where there's not a burn and it's real smooth.
Obviously it's a spirit. It's going to burn.
You still get that cool sensation though, like tequila.
This is unlike anything I've ever drank before. And when I had it in that drink, I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't stop drinking it. if we didn't have to drive back, I would have had easy 5 or 6 of those.
We'll
Easy.
have to stay at that Dre Hotel sometime.
It was so good. And so I'm actually really glad that we discovered this because this is so good. And
Yeah.
when we go to Austin, we're going. Like, we're going to have to go down there.
And that's part of the reason why when we couldn't really figure out where we were going to go over the summer, and then
Gas is too expensive.
Yeah.
We want to go to California, but we can't. It's too expensive. Gas
kind of one of the reasons I ended up settling on the idea of Austin is seriously because I thought, well, we can go down there because I know he wants to see Desert Door and visit that place. So I think that'll be a good thing because it's only, like 20 minutes from where we're staying?
Yeah, and I think I've watched every YouTube video about Desert Door.
They have an amazing website.
It's pretty cool.
I love their website.
Look at that burning bush over there.
Mm-hmm. But like you can click in on different things, and it's like a panoramic photo that just like goes in a circle depending on what thing you click on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the photographer thing and the artsy thing, but I just think that's so cool.
So artsy fartsy.
I am.
So
and they have videos on how they make it and stuff.
And even now, we're drinking this straight out of a shot glass. Mm-hmm. And I still taste it, the earthy grassiness, and it's not offensive at all. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were at like Texican Court, I wonder if they have it.
Probably.
If we were at Texican Court, I'd be drinking this shit straight, like sitting by a campfire and just like loving it.
Sitting in the pool.
Yes.
Getting fucked up on Sotol.
Are you okay? Yeah, that actually, the way you said that makes it sound like we're going to do that.
We should one day. Are you guests here? No.
But why are you in the pool? What are we drinking?
We just brought our suits.
Or
bring me another drink.
Or we should go to the pool at the village.
We should.
And
it's closer.
They don't have it there, the pool. I don't know.
They have a bar.
But
Probably don't have that, though.
But even now, man, I'm still tasting it, and it's so good. I have to be careful with this. Between this and tequila, it's not a good thing. Because I hate to say make it a habit of it, because it could, but it's really enjoyable.
It is.
And we have seriously talked about this for 17 minutes.
It's good.
It's really good. So if you have a chance to, I would highly recommend, urge to try Desert Door Sotol out of Driftwood, Texas. You can find it in like a higher end liquor store. Specs has it in Dallas.
Or go to Lamina.
In Dallas.
Have them mix it into a cocktail or something. Or even if you can try it by itself.
I bet Desert Door. I bet Mexican Sugar has it.
Probably.
And what's the other one? The other restaurant like Mexican Sugar? Lamina?
Yeah, Lamina. And that's a place that I think people should try too. The food is good, but it's more of like, to me, it's more of like an authentic Mexican food kind of thing. It's more of like a fresh Mex kind of thing. But they also, where we tried these drinks that had the Sotol in it, they have a speakeasy.
Is that what Arthur was talking about the other day? Arthur.
I was about to say, who the hell is
Shut
Arthur?
The guy at the other restaurant that we go to a lot. He said, He said, that's the restaurant he was talking about?
No, he had been to Mexican Sugar.
No, he said, but I like this other one better. What's the other one?
Meso Maya.
Meso Maya, yeah. I wonder if they have it.
Oh, Meso Maya is so good. They probably do. They have a pretty big selection of that kind of stuff.
So go try a fruity drink with the Sotol and see how it complements the drink.
Oh
Leah's
my God.
straight shot in this shit.
Ooh.
She'd bear dog in that damn Sotol.
I know. I started to like kind of cough while I was drinking and it burned my throat.
But start with something fruity. I personally don't care for it in a ranch water. That's my preference.
Oh, no. I don't think I'd put it in a ranch water.
But I like it better straight than in a ranch water. It's straight. It's really good.
Yeah.
In a fruity drink, really good. Ranch water, it's okay.
Now I see, now that we've been drinking, and I think we talked about this on the last podcast, but now that we've been drinking tequila, like liquor, instead of beer, now, because my dad used to talk about, like, he would go to restaurants and he would know if people weren't giving him the right kind of liquor.
We can do that
and
now.
I'd be like, how could you possibly know? Like, it all tastes the same. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh.
My mom would be like, they didn't put this liquor in the drink. I'm like, it all tastes the same. It doesn't.
Yeah, because he's told me, like, he's caught people before giving him, like, a cheaper thing and charging him the same for, like, whatever he ordered.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would never know that. And now I'm like, I can differentiate like what kind of tequilas there are. Like that, what is that one? That Cascajuan?
Cascajuan? Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that is so different than even just Fortaleza or like that Ocho one.
Even the Cascajuan and the Cascajuan Tajant. I can't talk.
Yeah.
Tahona.
Tesoro? Oh.
No, Cascajuan, the green bottle, is their original. It's regular tequila. The Cascajuan Tahona is the one that they, use a Tahona wheel to do it. And it tastes completely different, but it's the same tequila.
Yeah, it's just a different process.
Tastes completely different, yeah.
A different process brings out different notes.
Yeah, look at you.
I know.
So fancy and
We're
shit.
getting so good at this.
But that's what we do. That's our
spiel.
Our feedback, our thoughts on Desert Door. 10 out of 10. This is an amazing product. So, Desert Door, great job. We'll be coming out there in a couple of months. We'll say hi, shake your hand, but guys, for real, like this is seriously a fantastic spirit. If you love tequila, you will love this. Even if you don't like tequila, you'll probably like this. Tequila?
Yes.
Tequila.
Tequila.
So yeah, get
tequila.
Oh, they have a barrel aged version too, and it's okay. It's good. It's not my thing, but if you're a bourbon drinker,
did I try that?
Mm-hmm, yeah, it tastes a lot like bourbon. But if you're a bourbon drinker, you will love the Sotol barrel aged.
I've tried so many different things over the last probably 3 months. I don't even know what I've tried anymore.
If you're a bourbon drinker, get the barrel aged. If you're not and you like tequila, get the regular original Sotol. Mm-hmm. Man, it's so good. It is so good. I could seriously sit here and keep sipping on it all day and get fucked bad. So 10 out of 10, good job. Get Desert Door Sotol. And I guess now we're moving on to it's not really a case, like the subject, the unsolved mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. So this happened in Russia, so extremely forgive us for not pronouncing things correctly. Extremely forgive us. It is. I was thinking about when I was. By the way, I can read the notes. Huh? I can read the notes. Where are my glasses? Oh, I was like, did I do it like big or something? No, you did good. There were 10 people that were originally Stop. There were 10 people that were originally involved. Stop doing that. What? You're on. I like the fact that we're doing that and people have no idea what we're talking about. Mouthing what I'm saying in a smart-assy way. But there were 10 people originally involved in this. One of them actually left before anything had happened. But basically what it was is these hikers went on, I guess, not even an expedition, just a hike. Well, they called it an expedition, though. They took a train to get there and all that stuff, too. So everybody that went on this hike was what's called a grade 2 hiker. I don't know anything about hiking. They're professionals. But they were also experienced ski tour guides, I guess. Which I thought was strange because I didn't know that there were ski tour guides. Did you know that? Leah. What? Yes. Well, not like ski teachers, like ski tour guides. What is that? Like little tour guides that will take you on a tour on skis. Like, I've never heard of that. They have them in Colorado and yeah. Oh. Well, anyway, they kind of disappeared, and then when they didn't come back when they were supposed to, they had a search team go out and look for them, and they found them all dead. So the weird thing about the creepy thing about this whole thing is they were taking pictures of stuff the entire time. I know. Along, and it's like you can see them like the day before they went missing. You know what I was thinking when I was looking at all those pictures? Look at all the scratches on the film. It's old photos. What is it, 1950 something? 59, I think. 1959? Yeah, 1959. But yeah, that's what I kept thinking because when I was in photography school, what? Yeah, what are the color-coded things? I highlighted them because I felt like it all just kind of ran together, and I needed to separate where one thing stopped and where the other one began. Okay. So do you want to try out their names, or are we just going to say 10 of them? Well, I mean, yeah. So I feel like I don't know. Let's just go to the story. Because there's 10 people.
Yeah, so on January 27th, 1959, a 10-member group consisting mostly of students from the, you think that's Ural?
Yeah, Ural Polytechnic Institute.
Yes. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. All seasoned cross-country and downhill skiers set off on a 14-day expedition to the Gora Otorten Mountain. What?
Gora Otorten Mountain.
In the northern part of the Soviet Sverdlovsk Oblast.
Sverdlovsk Oblast.
Oh my gosh.
See? It's Soviet.
It's hard. Each member of the group was an experienced grade 2 hiker, like I said, with ski touring experience, and would graduate to a grade 3 upon their return from this expedition.
So they were trying to also get their grade 3 over the 2.
Yes.
In addition to the expedition.
So I read...
The riskiest category.
Yes. I was just about to say that. I read that that's the riskiest thing. At the time of the year, a route of this kind was classified, again, as a category 3, the riskiest category, with temperatures falling as low as negative 30 degrees, which is Celsius, which is negative 22 Fahrenheit.
Why?
I would die.
Why? Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. That sounds horrific. And be out there for 14 days.
It got to negative 1, negative 2 here at the worst, and I was like, fuck this.
I was
negative 22?
I was sitting in my house like... It was horrible. I didn't even come out of the house. On January 28th, one of the members of the expedition, Yuri Yudin, decided to turn back due to knee and joint pain ailments. Well, that was very smart. That sounds like me. I can't be out in cold weather, otherwise my knees start hurting.
Rheumatism and congenital heart failure,
yes.
Or heart defect.
Yes, he had a lot of health problems, and he did have those. He never saw his classmates again, though, as soon as he left them. But before he left, they took pictures and stuff together.
I wonder if he's still alive.
I don't know. I mean, they were all really young. He may be.
If he had congenital heart defects, it's probably not likely.
Yeah, probably not. But diaries and cameras were found around their last campsite, which made it possible to track the group's route up to the day preceding the incident.
Yeah, they said they had diaries, and like all their stuff was neatly folded and tucked away in the tent.
Yeah. I have some theories
weird.
On this.
We're going to hear them. We're going to hear that.
I lost my place. On January 31st, the group arrived at the edge of a highland area and began to prepare for climbing. In a wooded valley, they cached surplus food and equipment that would be used for the trip back. The next day, the hikers started to move through the pass. It seems they planned to get over the pass and make camp for the next night on the opposite side, but because of worsening weather conditions, snowstorms, and decreasing visibility, they lost their direction and deviated west toward the top of Kolot Siakal.
Sackle?
I don't know.
Sackle.
But that translates to...
They went to the top of the Sackle.
That translates to Death Mountain.
Oh.
And they actually, I read, were warned to not go up there because of how bad the weather and stuff gets up there and how dangerous it could potentially be.
Yeah, between this and the guys that, got stuck in Everest, it sounds like a good idea.
Well, this is allegedly one of the most dangerous mountains in the entire world.
Well.
So, yeah. When they realized their mistake, the group decided to set up camp there on the slope of the mountain rather than move 1.5 kilometers or 0.93 miles down to, I almost said millimeters.
That's a long move.
Miles downhill to... downhill...
12.4 millimeters they moved over.
Oh my God. Downhill to a forested area that would have offered some shelter from the weather. Do you think they could have seen that? Like, why would they not go down there? Because that's not that far.
Well, maybe, 12 millimeters or the 12.4 miles?
No, it was 1.5 kilometers and it was 0.93 miles.
Oh. Well, if it's bad weather and it's like blizzard conditions, probably not.
Maybe. But Yudin, who left the group, had speculated that Dyatlov probably did not want to lose the altitude they had gained, or he decided to practice camping on the mountain slope. When the group's expected return date...
You practice camping on a slope? Practice.
I don't really understand the point.
Of practicing camping on the side of a slope with a blizzard? Practice.
Yeah, I mean, maybe don't do it on a slope. Find a flat area. I don't know.
Look, they know what the hell they're doing.
But like I said earlier, when their expected return date to the departure point, the village of Vizhai came and went, a rescue team set out to search for them. On February 26th, which is almost a month later, they found...
Ooh, I didn't even catch that.
They found I know, and that, well, they're frozen, though. I mean, how much could have happened? They found the group's tent badly damaged on the slopes of that mountain, however you say it, some 20 kilometers, 12.4 miles south of the group's destination. The group's belongings had been left behind, and then further down the mountain beneath an old Siberian cedar tree, they found 2 bodies clad only in socks and underwear. That makes me absolutely cold thinking about that.
It was pretty chilly last night thinking about that, yeah.
It's terrible. Like, I just feel like there's not enough clothing that you could wear to be warm doing any of that.
That would suck to have to freaking
and you love to be cold. You outside in shorts when it's snowing.
But yeah, I do.
And I mean, if you think that's cold, shit.
I mean, shit.
3 other bodies, including that of Dyatlov, were subsequently found between the tree and the tent site. Presumably, they had succumbed to hypothermia. Well, no fucking shit. While attempting
Dude, think about that. Negative 22 with just your socks and underwear.
Do you think they froze to death? I think that's a reach.
I bet he's shriveling big time when that happened.
I mean, this is terrible. It's not funny, but like, presumably from hypothermia. Come on now. I think we all know.
I wonder how fast they died at negative 22 with nothing.
Oh my God. I would think quick. I would think within like several minutes.
And you know they knew.
Oh yeah.
That's just that would suck.
Well, but you don't know.
And you can't get warm. Ooh.
You don't know how they died, allegedly.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Unsolved.
We're going to talk about it. Stick around.
But 2 months later, the remains of 4 other bodies were discovered in a ravine beneath a thick layer of snow. What is that kind of snow they have up there? Permafrost? Isn't that what it is?
Up where? In Russia?
Well, yeah, like in that kind of climate. They have that permafrost stuff. Where
I thought it was powdery.
Well, like, it's like underneath the snow. It's like it's like a really thick, hard layer. I remember learning that in school.
No, I don't, because we're in Texas, and it never permafrosts here.
I remember talking about that in science class. You don't remember?
Dude, I was in a school a lot longer than you.
That's true.
I don't remember that. Is that what it's called? Like the permafrost layer? I'm asking.
It is. Okay. Yes. Several of the deceased had serious injuries.
Smart.
I am so smart. Thank you. I know. Several of the deceased had serious injuries, such as fractures to the chest and skull, and one with a severed tongue. Like, she didn't have a tongue anymore. Come on now. What
do you think that is? Are we going to get to that part?
We're going to get to that. Okay. Because I don't believe what they think. It was.
Now I'm really want to know what you think. Because I'm sure it's not outlandish at all.
When you hear, well, I guess you kind of did because we watched something about it last night. But like when we talk about what they thought happened,
it made sense.
No, it didn't. Okay, to an extent it did, but a lot of stuff happened that was like, how do you explain that? With what you think happened.
I thought their explanation was kind of made some logical sense, but
yeah, but there was other stuff involved.
I'm a stupid ass.
Yeah,
believes it.
Yeah, don't even say anything.
Yeah, shut up, Brandon. We're gonna hear Leah's earth-shattering.
I really don't have like some solid theory about anything. Like I don't know what happened, but I just feel like
apparently you do.
No, I feel like something other than what they're saying happened.
I'm interested to hear this now because it's like
I really don't. Like I don't know what happened, but I just don't think that's the full explanation. I think something else had to have happened. Other than that,
I want to hear this. Because now I'm very curious.
I think you can take some guesses as to what you think. I think
I have an idea.
Oh my God!
If it's what I think, I'm gonna.
When we get to it, I want you to just say what you think, and then I'll be like yes or no.
Okay.
Okay.
Quiz time with Brandon. Does Brandon know Leah?
I think you do. I'm kind of nuts. It was also
by the way,
discovered what?
Completely off topic here. Did you know tomorrow's Silent Rock's 1 year anniversary party?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I was sending you a message about last week.
Oh.
And you were like, it's going to be so busy.
It will be busy. I'm sorry. I just completely...
What brought that up?
I don't know. I just thought about it. Okay. Sorry.
It was also discovered that several clothing items had an unusually high amount of radiation.
Their theory on that makes sense too. But I already know what you're thinking.
What was the theory? Because I kind of fell asleep.
That both of the guys worked at a nuclear power plant.
It said several clothing items.
Right. Both of them had... There were 2 guys. Both of them worked at a nuclear power plant.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
I totally know what you're thinking. Let's keep reading.
No, you do.
Yes, I did.
I don't even know if I can keep reading this because now I don't want to say.
Now I know. No. We're going to hear it. Let's keep going.
The Soviet authorities investigated to determine the causes of the Dyatlov Pass incident, but closed it after the absence of survivors. The sequel... Wait, no,
You're so silly.
I don't even know if I read that right.
Which part did you say?
Oh, no, but closed it after 3 months, concluding that a compelling natural force had caused the death of the hikers. In the absence of survivors, the sequence of events on the night of February 1st and 2nd is unclear to this day and has led to countless more or less fanciful theories from murderous Yeti. You know, I kind of considered that when I first heard this story. When I first heard this, I'm not kidding. I was like, there has to be some kind of...
You should see your face right now. You're totally fucking like sold on that.
Serious. And I don't even believe in that stuff. That is one thing I don't believe in is Bigfoot and the Yeti. I think that's kind of bullshit.
But on this story, it makes sense. Leah can get so caught up in conspiracy theories sometimes. It's funny.
I can. That is one thing I miss about Ron is I could tell him something, he'd be like, totally.
Oh, yeah, dude, for real. I'm over here eating my pizza like, guys, come on.
And he's eating it upside down, talking to me like, I fucking know.
Oh.
But from Murderous Yeti to secret military experiments, this is the mystery that Gaum, I don't fucking know how to say his name, Gaum, was confronted with. And he said, quote unquote, after the call from the New York Times reporter, I began writing equations and figures on my blackboard, trying to understand what might have happened in purely mechanical terms, unquote. He says, again, quote, when the reporter rang back, I told her it was likely that an avalanche had taken the group by surprise as they lay sleeping in the tent. This theory, which is the most plausible, was also put forward by the Russian Public Prosecutor's Office after the investigation was reopened in 2019 at the request of the victims' relatives.
Yeah, I don't believe that one. I don't believe that one.
No, it's Russia. How do you believe anything they say? Come on now.
Oh. Because they said that the avalanche theory they don't think is completely true is because when they saw the footprints, it showed like
they were calmly walking away.
But they found
out running.
But a month later, how are you going to know? Like I'm sure the wind blew and it snowed quite a bit in a month. How do they know?
I don't know. But you're like
Russia.
But the lack of evidence in the existence of odd elements has failed to convince a large portion of Russian society. Gom, originally from France and Russian-born is it Puzarin? Puzarin? I don't fucking know. Work together.
Puzarin.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I guess it's Putin with a Z.
Mm-hmm.
Worked together to comb through the archives, which had been open to the public after the fall of the Soviet Union. They also, God, that was a long time later. They also spoke with other scientists and experts and developed analytical and numerical models to reconstruct the avalanche that may have caught the 9 victims unaware. Thoughts?
Yeah. Hey, are we at the? We're not at the end of it, though.
No, we're not at the end.
Yeah, there's his explanation of what happened made sense. The avalanche thing.
I don't think the avalanche thing
could make sense, though, because there's a knife. They're saying the cut from the tent was from the inside.
Oh, but we have not reached the end yet.
Shit. Sorry, keep on going. Sorry.
According to Gom and Puzarin, this is what happened in 1959. The hikers had made a cut in the mountain's snow-covered slope to set up their tent, but the avalanche didn't occur until several hours later. Quote, one of the main reasons why the avalanche theory still is not fully accepted is that the authorities have not provided an explanation of how it happened.
Shocker.
Unquote, says Gom. In fact, there are a number of points that contradict that theory. First, the rescue team did not find any obvious evidence of an avalanche or its deposition. Then the average angle of the slope above the tent, less than 30 degrees, was not steep enough for an avalanche. And finally, the chest and skull injuries observed on some victims were not typical of avalanche victims. To this day, the mystery of what happened has not been solved, only speculation.
I didn't catch that part on the documentary that the slope wasn't steep enough for an avalanche. I didn't catch that, but apparently the slope wasn't that steep.
I also read somewhere, and for some reason I didn't include it. I don't know why. Maybe I just forgot. But that somehow, I don't know how they would know this, but that the cut in the tent from the inside happened way before the avalanche or whatever it was.
How do you know?
That's what I read somewhere. I don't remember where I read it.
So they went on their journey on January 27th, 1959, and they were found...
February 26th.
Okay.
So about a month.
So you're on the snow with all this bad weather and all this... You're on a mountain with all this snow and bad weather. Mm-hmm. And a month later, how can you investigate and make... First of all, the Soviets, because they fucking tried to cover Chernobyl, for God's sake.
Did they really?
Yes. They didn't say anything about it for a while before the radiation was over like different
I mean, how do you possibly cover that? They blew up like a huge
They were trying to cover it because all the radiation that was going into the air was blowing over to other countries. And they still tried to act like nothing was going on. And by the time they said something, it was already over there.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like...
You can't trust really what they say.
Right. So...
Well, can you trust the U.S. government? No.
At this point, no.
No.
But I digress.
Yeah, that's a whole nother subject that I could talk about for an hour.
What? So, okay. Let's hear your thoughts on what happened.
I mean, I really thought...
An alien.
Well, allegedly...
A UFO.
No. So I had read... I really didn't think too much about it when I first heard about it, other than, like, I thought it was a monster. But then... but then, when I was actually reading about this stuff, there was... They found some kind of... I don't know if it was a journal. They found something. And it had something to do with the Communist Party, and they think that this was some kind of Communist Party mission. So they
like the hikers were part of the Communist Party?
Yes. And like maybe higher ups in the Communist Party could have had them killed or something.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
So that was my thing.
There was some shady ass shit going on back then with the Russian government.
I mean, I'm totally on board with...
So I thought you were going to say UFO because they also saw that, and
yes, the lights.
Yeah, but the camera caught the light, right? Mm-hmm. But they were documenting a lot of this stuff, so you could see like weird shit the entire time. It's kind of eerie seeing the picture.
I will say, what is weird about that, because I'm a photographer and so I know about lighting, but
Leah's into forensics.
No, but like when you're out in an area like that where there's no lights, like how do you I mean...
In 1959.
In the 50s.
In the middle of nowhere.
And it didn't look like their cameras had flashes, so, like, what the fuck was that?
So you think it was probably like the... Oh.
My God.
Sorry.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No. Oh.
Oh, my gosh.
I had a bug fall out. I'm sorry.
But anyway, that something back then. They were on a huge mountain that probably nobody lived on. Something had to have made that light.
There was a village that they went to before they went to.
Yeah, but when they were up there, I don't think there was anything.
No, they camped not too far from the village.
Yeah, but the picture to me looked like it was taken like at an upward angle. Wasn't the village like down the mountain somewhere?
How can you tell if it was taken up or down?
Isn't there like the side of the mountain in the picture?
They could have been down or up though.
Well, I guess that's true. But no. Like the light looked like it was like up in like the top corner of the picture.
I don't know. It could have been the KGB. It could have been something military. It could have been something they were trying to stop them. It could have been. I don't think it was a UFO. I think the light probably came from the village. That's what.
I don't think it was a UFO.
But do you think
for once?
Do you think the tongue being cut out was a part of the whole military thing?
That to me is kind of why I don't believe that whole avalanche thing, because I mean, you could bite your tongue off, I guess, but like they would have found it probably somewhere near you if you bit your tongue off. Like if you're in an avalanche and you accidentally like bite too hard or something and you bite your tongue off, I don't know. It's a thing. People have done it.
Well, the theory is that they were camping, and the stove, the wooden furnace stove pipe, whatever, the wind blew it back in, whatever, the backdraft, whatever, and the coals in the stove came back into the tent. Mm-hmm. All the smoke choked them, basically, started catching clothing items and stuff on fire, because some of their clothes had burn marks on them too. So they think because of all the smoke, they were trying to get out, so they cut the tent to get out, and that's why some of them weren't wearing clothes, is because they had burned clothes and it was burning them or whatever. They had to get out of those clothes to get out. But
it still doesn't explain like how they died.
Can't they just walk out the tent? Like, or is it strapped closed or something closed that they can't just open the door to go out? Or anyway, the theory is the fact that they from the inside cut the tent, got out. Some of them didn't have clothes on because apparently they burned, or they had to get out of them really quick. So they got out. They didn't have an explanation about the tongue being disappeared unless a fox ate one of them, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I feel like that is such a reaching explanation.
I don't know, but Russia was pretty bad about covering shit up back then. It does make you wonder, like...
Oh, yeah, because that was like during the Cold War and shit.
What do you think the light was? An airplane? A helicopter?
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been an airplane. I didn't think about that. Well, I thought about everything else but that.
They talked about that in the thing. It could have been an airplane. I thought maybe a helicopter, but... Ooh, excuse me. I don't know. Nobody knows what happened, but the fact they keep talking in that thing, they kept talking about an investigation was made. And I'm thinking...
Yeah, but how
Russia?
How deep of an investigation? Probably not much.
They said it was done pretty quick, a week or two.
Yeah.
And they just there's no explanation. It's like, Russia doesn't seem like they put that much effort into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't believe the avalanche thing. That's all I'll say about it. I don't think the avalanche thing happened, but that's kind of, as of today, that's kind of the official, unofficial theory. Is that it was an avalanche, but it's like, how do you explain all that other stuff? Like,
well, it's different.
I don't know.
It's different, but yeah, it's kind of hard to have credibility with a country that has some shady ass shit going on back then.
That's a series of extremely unfortunate events, no pun intended, for you to say that, like, okay, well then they were lit on fire in their tent, so they had to get out of the tent, and then they got out of the tent and an avalanche happened. It's like,
yeah, it seems like it's far-reaching and all coincidental.
Yeah. And I just, anymore, I don't think any government's very honest about what happens, and I don't think that they really should be the ones that should be investigating anything.
Well, it does make you wonder, but in Russia, who knows, right?
But yeah, I mean, if you have any theories, we would love to hear them. But that is all for Booze and Bloodshed tonight.
Yeah, what's the email that they can reach us at?
boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at Booze and Bloodshed. We also have a YouTube page, Booze and Bloodshed, and you can subscribe to that and click that bell to stay up to date on all of the latest episodes of Booze and Bloodshed.
Okay. Yeah, so, what happened to the music? Oh, there it is, still there. Oh, no. So, it kind of went away. It doesn't know what happened. Okay, anyway, so I'm Brandon.
I'm Leah.
And we'll catch you next time.
Peace.